Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome
to
you
guys. Okay. I'm so sorry.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to K&J Studios. It's your boy Jay.
Your girl Kaya.
And without any further ado, we got news.
Yes, we do. HBO Max is starting a series called Green Lantern. There's also supposed to be a Green Lantern movie. So we're going to give you guys all the details, everything you need to know, what we know so far, all of that good stuff.
Because what we know, you about to know.
Okay, so what most of you guys probably already have heard about is who is supposed to be playing Green Lantern in this new series. And the guy's name is Wittrock. So he played in American Horror Story and also played a part in Ratchet. So I personally have not seen either one of them personally, so I don't really know exactly how great of an actor he is. None of that good stuff, none of that stuff. But he is supposed to be playing Green Lantern. The Green Lantern that he'll be playing is Gardner. If you know
the Green Lantern nobody cares about.
Yeah, he's not one of the popular ones like Hal Jordan or John Stewart. He's like I think he appeared in Young Justice, right?
Yes, he was in Young Justice.
He's appeared in Young Justice. He's definitely one of the alpha male type. So he's kind of a hardcore type of guy. So that's the character that he's supposed to be playing. So what do you think? Like looking at him, what do you think about him playing in that part?
He's gonna need to put on some weight. Gardner's he's buff.
He's hardcore.
He's bigger than both John Stewart and Hal Jordan. Hal Jordan is a little slimmer. We know that John Stewart is built like, sort of like NFL safety. Gardner's supposed to be built like an NFL linebacker.
Right. He's supposed to be a big dude.
He's supposed to be a big dude, like 6'3", 6'4". Right. About 6'3", 6'4". Big muscle.
He's a very masculine character. Yeah. He's very hardcore.
This guy, he's 5'9", and he doesn't really strike me as a.
It would be interesting.
He has the face. He has the face.
Yeah.
He just doesn't have. He doesn't have the build yet, and I'm pretty. So the question is, okay, when he comes in, are they going to say to him, "Well, we need you to get in this type of shape to play this role"?
So we're gonna go into a little bit of what we know about the show description, what we know so far. So, Green Lantern reinvents the classic DC property through a story spanning decades and galaxies, beginning on Earth in 1941 with the very first Green Lantern, secretly gay FBI agent Alan Scott, in 1984 with cocky alpha male Guy Gardner and half-alien Bree Jarda. They'll be joined by a multitude of other lanterns from the comic book favorites to never before seen heroes. So guys, looks like we'll be getting some, I guess it won't be just focused on Guy Gardner. It'll also be focused around other Green Lantern characters as well. So it'll be one of those type things, but we'll also see some other Green Lantern characters, things like that. So I think it's gonna be kind of cool to see them introduce some characters we haven't seen before, stuff like that, or maybe even see characters that we're familiar with seeing maybe. So
there's a lot of variables for me because the executive producer is Greg Berlanti, my bad, and he was the executive producer for the Arrowverse.
Right.
I think you all can see where the problem comes in here at. He's done Love, Simon. That one was a hit. I personally haven't seen it, but I know I've heard a lot of things about it, and apparently a lot of people enjoyed it.
Right.
He's done DC Legends of Tomorrow. I've seen it. I'm not a fan. Supergirl, seen it. Not a fan. Flash, seen it. Not a fan. Green Lantern, the movie, in 2011 with Ryan Reynolds. I enjoyed the movie, but nobody else did.
We were literally just talking. We looked it up because we had to look up the dude's resume, right? And so, me thinking, I was like, well, I enjoyed that movie. I don't know if it's because I was younger, but we were both thinking.
I haven't seen it in years, but I enjoyed it when I was
younger. I enjoyed watching it, but I didn't realize that the ratings were that bad on it.
5.5 out of 10 for IMDb, 26% on Rotten Tomatoes, 39% on Metacritic, and 62% of people like this movie. It did not do well.
Terribly.
They made more.
Hopefully, my hope is that he's learned his lesson through that movie to know what to do and what not to do for this series.
Well, he did that one in 2011, but he also did the Green Lantern Emerald Knights in 2011, which did slightly better, but it was not released. Actually, it did better for among people who've seen it. The critics, it had 71% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is better than the movie. But then again, at the same time, it's an animated movie.
Yeah.
Wrath of the Titans did not do well. Pan did not do well. I mean, he really just hasn't hit.
Yeah,
He's missed a lot.
It looks like, even though he has the experience, it's like the ones that he's done, the movies that he's done, hasn't done well. So that's very concerning. And the
Blind Spot did very well.
So Love, Simon and Blind Spot were the two that he actually did really well on. As for the series, I know that, obviously Legend of Tomorrow, Supergirl, Flash are still on TV. People obviously like watching them, and they've been out for years and years. I honestly didn't think that they would last for that long, but the fact that they've made it to the points that they are show you. I think he also did something in Arrow as well. Show you that apparently people like it. Some people like it. Some people enjoy it. I know some people hate it. So I mean, he has the experience. Hopefully he's already done the Green Lantern movie in the past. Hopefully he's learned his lessons, taking some notes, knows what to do, knows what not to do. Hopefully, I mean, I guess we'll really just have to see. I don't really have any high expectations. I'm kind of trying to just see what exactly they're gonna go, like what direction they're gonna go in, because even though we get a description, it's not really a detailed description. We only kind of get like a little bit of what we could probably expect. So I mean, I don't know, I'm still a little bit iffy on it.
He also did Superman and Lois.
Yes, he did do something. Yeah, he did.
Which
Superman
critically is still teetering.
Right.
I personally like the show so far. I don't know what's gonna happen yet.
The last episode had me a little bit iffy. Like, I'm like, is this really gonna work? Is it gonna go downhill from here? I'm not really sure. I know that the series is supposed to be coming back this month. All right, so this brings us to our next point. Will we be seeing Jon Stewart and Hal Jordan in this series? So far, we don't think that they'll appear in season 1. I personally don't think they should appear at all in the series. And if so, I'm like...
Well, they shouldn't, because this is based in 1941, right? It says DC property through the stories spanning decades and galaxies beginning on Earth in 1941. So they shouldn't appear. This is too old.
And even in, I think the other one is 1984. So probably not. Most likely not. Young. Yeah, so that leads us to the movie. The Green Lantern Corp movie that they're supposed to be coming out with. So even though there's supposed to be a series on HBO Max, there's still a movie that's in development, or I guess they're still constructing. It's confirmed that they're still going to have the movie, right? So this is what we know so far. We know that Jon Stewart is going to be the protagonist, and Hal Jordan is going to be his mentor. So he's going to be in the movie as well. Yeah. So if you guys realize, you guys know that in Justice League, I'm sure I heard about it, that there's supposed to be a Green Lantern appearance, but they replaced that with Martian Manhunter because of the fact that Warner Brothers is like, no, we don't want you to touch it. Now the person that was supposed to be playing him was Wayne T. Carr. He was supposed to be playing Jon Stewart in the Justice League Snyder Cut. But they're like, nah, don't touch it. So we already made a video in the past letting you guys know that we felt like there would be a movie coming eventually. So I guess this is the movie that they've come up with. I'm not really sure how to feel about it. We don't really know anything about the movie so far. No plots, nothing like that. So as far as who's going to be the writing and developing this production, they're not sure it's going to be Geoff Johns or not. I'm not really sure who that is. So I'm gonna have Jen look it up and see who this guy is. But either way, I feel like you're having a series and a movie, and like I said before, it has to sync. You know what I'm saying? Like Marvel does that very well, and I feel like if the series is gonna be completely different from the movie, if it's not gonna help give us information on, like, you know what I'm saying, like how like a series can hint at things that's gonna happen in the movie and stuff like that. If it doesn't sync up as like at all, then that is pointless. Like, why have a movie or a series if they're not gonna sync up well? So maybe that's been, I know that the Warner Brothers had that whole plan set out, which is why they didn't want to touch it. So I just hope that they have a plan of how they're going to do this instead of, messing up yet another character in DC. I would hate to see that. Okay, so Hal Jordan does come force Jon Stewart, but Hal Jordan relinquishes his place in the Green Lantern Corp to Jon Stewart. Right. Which is why we don't see Hal Jordan as often. We see more of Jon Stewart. Right. So I guess it makes sense that he would be his mentor. Yeah. I guess that makes sense. But like I said, I agree wholeheartedly with you. I don't want the same old crap. I could be excited about this series and stuff if they make it a good storyline. make it match up with whatever's gonna happen in the movie, stuff like that. If it syncs up well, we're seeing stuff that relates to the series and the movie, stuff like that. I could be okay with that. I mean, if you're gonna bring in this other Green Lantern character that, you know what I'm saying? Like, nobody asked to see this Green Lantern.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna make a series about him, it has to make sense.
Which is most likely why they did that. They're probably like, well, there's no standard for Guy Gardner. There's a standard for John Stewart.
It's like you gotta do stuff with intention though, and I feel they don't do things with intention a lot of times. It's just kind of like they just put it in there, throw it out there, see people like it, and if they don't like it, it's kind of like, oh well, and they just start all over and just, you know what I'm saying? It's just kind of, that's how they do it every single time, and I really hope that that's not the case. I really hope that they have a solid like plan of how they're gonna go about doing this. Right?
Yeah. Now Geoff Johns. He's already off on the bad foot for me.
He's worked on the Green Lantern movie as well.
He worked on the other Green Lantern movie.
Pretty much kind of the same resume as the other guy.
He's working on The Flash in 2022, which we already talked about. Stargirl, Aquaman.
Stargirl, I like that show. So far, I actually kind of like that show.
Flashpoint. Shazam was one that I enjoyed.
Shazam was good, yeah.
I enjoyed Shazam. I'm not sure what the critics say about Shazam. The critics like Shazam too.
I know a lot of people say they like Shazam.
So he has just as much bad on his resume as good, because Suicide Squad was a flop. Wonder Woman 1984 was bad. Justice League was bad. Yeah, he has just as much bad on his resume as he does good, but he does have a long and lengthy history with the DC universe. Yeah.
So I mean, as far as directors and release dates, there's no director yet for this movie, and there is no release date yet for the movie either. But there's no, for the Green Lantern series, there's no release date on that either. But they're farther along than the movie for sure. So we'll definitely probably end up seeing the series before we even see the movie. I don't expect to see the movie anytime soon. That's still in the very early stages.
If I see a release date, or if I see that they start filming before the year of 2021 is over, it's gonna be bad.
Alright guys, so make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Let us know what you think in the comments down below. Make sure you check out all of our social medias, all that good stuff. And comment down below if you're a new subscriber and all that good stuff, you guys. So we'll see you guys in the next video.